I'm Kristen Ward, and thank you for watching Maquette Vallant's Summer of Stories. I really enjoyed being able to incorporate interviews into each episode in order to make the topics of each story a little bit more multidimensional. And through it, I enjoyed being able to learn new things about people that I already knew and get in touch with new people and new topics. Here are some of my favorite highlights from each episode's interview.
I just miss the people. I miss all of my colleagues who are all wonderful. And just being at the library, knowing that I can help people with their research and or their entertainment acquisitions or anything. That people come into the library for lots of reasons, creating programs, everything. I miss everything about the library.
And I'm going to tell you this story. I'm just so into technique and pulling, in ballet, you have to really pull up. You can't lean on your shoe. You're pointing your foot as hard as you can, right?
Yeah.
But you're not going to put your weight and then sink.
Oh,
So
right.
there was a point where I just went without padding in my shoes.
Wow.
So that I would have to really just pull up all the way, and otherwise your toes would really hurt. So that's my story about these shoes. No padding.
So anybody who knows me will tell you my favorite superhero has been from the beginning Superman. He represents consistency to me, consistency and reliability. And for all the powers that he has, he's the biggest, he's the strongest, he's the fastest, all those things. But to me, it's always been his inner qualities that truly define him as super. His strength of will to get the right things done, his sense of empathy, and his caring for others. Because when you're that powerful, you don't just automatically have to care for other people, but he always does. And, that is the truest use of strength that I can think of.
Through science, the story of the moon's evolution has really unfolded for us. It's like a very old antique book, but where none of the pages have yellowed, where there's no tattering or damage. The story is still pristine because there's no wind or water to erode the story of the moon. So what we're looking at is the evidence of ancient volcanoes, ancient space rocks that have hit the moon millions or even billions of years ago. And the moon can tell us the story of how it evolved.
It's more likely than not, most of us have at least one neighbor probably around us, unless we live in the middle of nowhere. That's an immigrant. They live all throughout the city. Oh, there are pockets of them in some places, but in general, they live everywhere. So just getting to know your neighbors can be a great way to expand your perspective and learn about people that are different than you, or even the same as you, but you wouldn't know that they're the same because you didn't get to know them.
When I'm meditating or when I'm quieting my mind with a family member or even for myself, I'm taking that time to really, connect back to my body and observe my own thoughts. And there are days where, I am in my head and all I want to do is be in my heart space. And it helps me to feel really empowered, to come from a place that feels grounded and where it doesn't actually matter much anymore what other people think, or the external things that are happening in life aren't as big of a deal.
Anything that you would consider a barrier to starting a new job or attending an interview, the Dress for Success Pittsburgh team will be there to assist. At each boutique location, we have a Connections Resource Center where women can come in and do a job search, apply for a job, update their resume, and just learn and practice new computer skills that would really help them in their career journey. And we have trained volunteers that will work with clients one-on-one to ensure that she feels comfortable stepping into an upcoming interview or starting her new job.
It's also a pretty good illustration of how the banjo tells an American story about our music. The Scots and Scots-Irish, which my ancestors were Scots-Irish, came over from Ireland, brought their music with them. And this is one tune that has been collected in Scotland, in Ireland, and in the Appalachian Mountains. So there they call it Old Molly Hair. And they have funny words to it, and it goes like this.